Hi, Clay with OnSharp, talking with Joe about whether or not your business's homepage really is the most important page on your website. And if not, why not? So, Joe, a lot of times when people are building out their site, redesign, whatever else, they're really focusing the majority of their attention on getting their homepage exactly as they want it. And oftentimes it's to the neglect of the other pages deeper into the site. And we think that's a mistake. And we want to talk to you about why. So, what is one of the first reasons that you can't rely on the homepage too much for your website?
Well, don't get me wrong, the homepage is a very important page on your website, but honestly, your homepage is just too generic. I mean, it's where people are going to go just to get that really high level of who you are and what you do. But it's really high level. Like, you don't have the real estate and the space to get into all your products and all your services. It really just needs to be like the front page of a newspaper. It's got to be able to drill people into the actual things that they're looking for. So I think it's a mistake to spend hours upon hours upon hours tweaking your homepage and getting overly concerned about it. You just got to get the fundamentals right. Like, let it be a good gateway, and then it's going to be the rest of the pages that do all the work.
Yeah, and it is that gateway. It's the door of your house. You want the door of your house to look nice.
Yeah.
You want it to be inviting, welcoming. The point, though, is not for guests to come and stand at your front door. It's to bring them deeper into the house.
Or you don't need to repaint it 9 times and change the color. I mean, you make it look nice, and you can kind of focus on the interior of the house, right?
Yeah. So one of the first reasons you don't want to rely on your homepage too much is, again, it's too general. If someone comes to onsharp.com, we don't know if they're interested in websites, apps, software, if they want to work here, if they want to try and sell us something. We don't quite know enough about them, and that affects what content we put on that page. You can only put so much. So the fact that it's too general is one issue, and why you shouldn't rely on it to be the everything your website needs. What's the second thing that we run into with why you shouldn't over-rely on your homepage?
So I think what you got to understand is most of the people hitting your homepage, they already know who you are. So think of OnSharp. The people that hit the OnSharp homepage are people that search OnSharp or OnSharp Fargo. Like, they're familiar with us. So what you have to understand is all of your future prospects, future business, they're searching for something else. They're doing research. They're trying to find the answer to a problem. So it's more likely that their first experience on your site is going to be a blog post that you wrote, or one of your service pages, or just something that hits more to the pain point. So you just got to remember, like, your homepage. I think companies think too much like, oh, that my homepage is where everyone comes through. Well, no, not really. I mean, your homepage is probably less than 50% of your traffic. I mean, it should be if you have great content on other pages of your site.
So really the faulty thought that we run into people having is the assumption that the homepage is where people start their journey with your brand.
Right.
And it isn't. Think about what the job of Google is. The job of Google is to get that searcher to the right page as quickly as possible. And it knows their search intent. So if they're looking for a particular product or service or piece of information even, it's not going to drop them off on their homepage and say, good luck. It's going to take them to that exact page that's deeper in your website. So you've got to plan ahead. You've got to be ready to craft that in such a way that you can really convert them from a visitor to a customer, or whatever the purpose of your website is.
Yeah.
Now, those two reasons: one, it's too general. Two, a lot of your new people aren't starting on your homepage. They're elsewhere on the website. A third thing that we run into is the homepage is not where conversions happen. That's not where the customers are becoming customers.
Right. So again, you only have so much real estate on your homepage to deliver a message. And at your homepage level, you got to talk about a lot of different things. You got to cater to customers, people who might want to work for you, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be those other pages, whether it's a blog post or some piece of content that you wrote about a specific product or service. That's where the conversion will happen. That's where you have the real estate to really hone in on, what we call a specific user persona, like a category of a person that fits exactly a demographic of maybe one of your products or services. So that gives you that real estate on those pages to really figure out, okay, what do we want to educate them on? And then ultimately, what action do we want them to take next? We still see a lot of clients that don't have enough calls to action on some of those subpages. And I think that rather than spending, again, too much time tweaking your homepage to death, I'd rather see you spend more time getting more calls to action that makes sense on your different subpages based on, the focus of that page on your site. You're going to provide much more value to the business and get many more leads coming through if you spend your energy there.
So all that being said, are we saying that the homepage is unimportant or that you shouldn't even have one?
No, you need to have a beautiful homepage that makes you look professional, well organized. But again, you have to think of it as just a solid place to start and then to push people deeper. No one's going to, very few people are going to make a final decision about working with you or buying a product or contacting you simply by what's on your homepage. The entire site needs to be an experience. So you got to take them through that entire journey of educating them by using all the pages of your site to do that.
That's right. It's about not putting all your eggs in one basket. And take a peek at your analytics. You might be surprised at the percentage and the numbers that are coming in on some of those subpages. Blog posts from 3 years ago, you never know what the case might be. So look at some of that analytics information, determine where those visitors truly are starting their journey, and start shoring up those pages. So if you want to increase conversions or increase downloads, whatever it is your website is aimed at doing, really take a look at some of those subpages and see how best to go about that. So for more information and resources, check us out at onsharp.com. And if you need help with your next website project, we'd love to help.